Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have swatches for you from the Wanderlust Collection from Cuccio or Cuccio nail polish. So there are 8 polishes in this collection. They are available right now in the description box below. I will link their site, their Instagram page, and my Instagram page where you can see more swatches of all 8 shades in this collection. So like I said, we have 8 colors to look at today, and let's go ahead and get started. So first we have Wind in My Hair, and this is a super light gray, and it does have the most dainty silver shimmer running throughout it. So here's our first coat of Wind in My Hair. The formula on this is on the thinner side. It does want to run and pull if you do too thick of a coat. I don't swatch with base coat, so it is running on me a little bit more than it would if you were to wear it like on a daily basis. So bear that in mind. It's not a super problem. So here's our second coat, and this is building up nicely in 2 coats. I do still have a good bit of patching going on though, so I am going to go ahead and go in for a 3rd coat. That shimmer that's in there, while it's already dainty in the bottle, is very minuscule on the nail. It's very difficult to make out. Here's our 3rd coat, and this does cover completely in 3 coats for me. I am having to go in with a thicker coat and use a lighter hand to get it to cover completely and to avoid any more patchiness. This does dry glossy on its own though. Nothing in here is going to dry textured or be difficult to remove. So there is 3 coats. Up next we have I Wonder Where, and this is a super light gray cream, and here it is color-wise next to Wind in My Hair, and the only difference is Wind in My Hair does have that super duper light shimmer. So here's our first coat of I Wonder Where, and this one is very similar in all aspects to Wind in My Hair. The formula on it is a little bit thicker though. It's not wanting to run or pull as much as that one did. It is a little bit on the thinner side though. And again, it's pretty sheer and patchy on this first coat, so I am going to go ahead and build it up as well. So here's our second coat, and I'm still having some streaking here on the second coat. If you went in for super thick, careful coats, you could probably get this in 2, but they dry so quickly, I don't mind working thinner coats and building it up with 3 coats. This one is also going to dry very glossy on its own. It doesn't have any kind of added shimmer. It is just a cream, so nothing in here is going to be difficult to remove either. So here's our 3rd coat. And again, I did have to work a little bit thicker and with a lighter hand to get this streak free on 3 coats. Not a problem though. Again, like I said, they do dry really quick and glossy on their own, so I'm not upset at all. So there is 3 coats. So up next we have Explorator, I believe, and this is a light gray cream, and then it does have these black micro glitter, but they are those kind of micro glitter that don't dry textured and stick to your nail. They're really, I love these micro glitter. I love them so much. So here's our first coat of Explorator. This is a little bit sheer here on this first coat. The formula on it is really good though. It's not too thick or too thin. It's very workable consistency, beginner friendly kind of thing where it doesn't want to run or pull or anything of that sort. So here's our second coat, and this does cover completely in 2 coats for me. This one's also going to dry very glossy on its own and very smooth. That micro glitter that's in here doesn't make it dry textured or doesn't make it difficult to remove or anything like that. So there is 2 coats. Up next we have Transformation, and this is a super pale pink leaning more towards the lighter peachy side, and it does have that super delicate silver shimmer that the first polish had. So here's our first coat of Transformation. This one is pretty sheer and patchy on this first coat. The formula on it's pretty good. It's not nearly as thin as Wind in My Hair, the first polish that had this same kind of shimmer in it, but it is just as sheer and just as patchy. So here's our second coat, and this is building up in 2 coats. It's not completely opaque though, so I am going to go in for a 3rd coat. The shimmer that's in this one does stand out much more than Wind in My Hair, the very first one that had that shimmer, so I am really pleased about that. When you're applying this one, you might have some brush stroking. Those do go away for the most part as it dries. So this is completely opaque in 3 coats. Again, I did have to go in for a thicker coat and a more delicate hand to get it to do so. And the baby's singing in the background, so enjoy that. This one is also going to dry very glossy on its own, and nothing in here is going to be difficult to remove. So there is 3 coats. Up next we have True North, and this is a light nutty shade, and it does have that delicate shimmer throughout it, but this shimmer, I don't know if it's the base that it's in, does lean a little bit more pink to me. So here's our first coat of True North. This is just a little bit sheer here on this first coat. The formula on it is good, not too thick or too thin. It is very easy to apply. The shimmer that's in here stands out okay if you know you're looking for it. Otherwise, it does come off as just a standard cream. I do like the polishes like that have the sort of hidden element to it though. So this is completely opaque in 2 coats for me. Again, an easy to work with formula. This one is going to dry again fast and glossy on its own. You will want a top coat for longevity purposes though. But nothing in here is going to dry textured or be difficult to remove. So there is 2 coats. So moving on to some more glittery things, we have Dreamville, and this is a nutty pink, and it does have these holographic bar glitters as well as black micro glitter as well. Here is our first coat of Dreamville. And considering what this is, it does cover pretty well here in this first coat. I am going to build it up with the second coat though. The formula on this is absolute perfection. It goes on like butter. Very, very easy formula to work with. The glitters in here spread out really nicely without having to do anything special, and it is completely opaque in 2 coats here for me. The glitter that's in this is going to dry slightly textured, so you'll want a top coat to finish that off, and it is going to be a little bit difficult to remove, but it's actually not too bad, so I appreciate this one. And there's 2 coats. Up next we have Road Less Traveled, and this is a purpley gray metallic. Here's our first coat of Road Less Traveled. So this covers pretty well here on this first coat. I feel like this one after a couple uses will absolutely be a 1-coater. Formula is good, very smooth and easy to apply. This one is going to apply with some brush strokes and patchy spots that do go away as it dries. And here is our second coat, and this does cover completely in 2 coats for me. This one ends up looking more of a metallic-y finish after that second coat is dry, and I absolutely love it. It is going to be a little bit messy upon removal, but it's not difficult to take off. So there is 2 coats. So real quick, they did send their 7-second reactive top coat. This is not a top coat that you have to cure, but it does last quite a while. I've used this a couple times for manicures that I want to last longer, and it does work really, really nicely. I'm going to go ahead and apply it over this polish just to show you how nicely this top coat applies. Here's a look at that top coat. I did want to show it over this polish because sometimes these metallic-y shades are dulled by top coat, and this one didn't do that. This does dry really, really quickly and beautifully, and I can totally get behind it. So there it is. And then they also sent over their cuticle oil. It does have the little mini dropper on it, so I am going to show you that as well. And then just a quick look at how to apply their cuticle oil. I just do a drop, probably that's too much, on each nail and then rub it in. And lastly for today we have Blessed Out, and this is a like iridescent-y shimmer shade, and it also has those little black micro glitter and tiny holographic scattered pieces. And here is 1 coat of Blessed Out over I Wonder Where. This has a nice dainty finish to it, a good formula, covers nice and evenly. You don't have to manipulate it any. You can add 2 coats to amp up the coverage of it, but it's never going to get opaque on its own. The formula is good, it's not going to dry textured, and it's not going to be difficult to remove. So there is 1 coat. So my favorite of this collection was Explorator. I think the little gray particles in the gray base are really, really beautiful. It does give me kind of an indie vibe. And it had a really good formula, 2 coats, no complaints, so Explorator is my favorite. And that is it. Let me know in the comments below what you guys thought of this collection. Let me know if you plan on picking any of them up, and let me know what your favorite was. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, subscribe if you'd like to see more from me, and I will talk to you again next time.